Today on Retro Bassin, we're going to be coming at you with 11 different eBay listings of some old school fish and gold, and we're going to be switching it up just a little bit. I dug back through the old treasure chest and found some pretty unique things that we're going to be putting up for auction on the eBay. As always, I'm going to start these listings off at 99 cents, and I will drop a link to each listing down below in the video description. I found some pretty cool dealer cards and dealer displays, including some baits from Rogers, Pose, Glenn L. Evans, and others. I'm also going to be putting up a old school Rebel tackle box. I've got a few of them. I'm going to be getting rid of at least one of them. And also some really unique listings from the lurenet website, including some super hard to find discontinued Arbogast jitterbugs, as well as some pretty unique creations from the lurenet website. Stick around.
Retro Bassin, kicking some ass and wearing rayon jackets. Thinking about Bill Dance, watching these fish prance through my Ray-Ban glasses. Ain't nothing better than 40-year-old lures coming off of Zepco 33. Out on the bass boat, making beer cans float, doing some trespassing. Fishing it old school, this old stuff rules. Welcome to Retro Bassin.
Alright, well, we've got 11 different lots that we're putting up for auction, and you might have noticed I'm starting to liquidate a little bit of the Retro Bassin stock. The only issue is I feel like the inflow is a little bit heavier than the outflow, and I've been picking up some different discontinued, call them pretty massive hauls around the country, which eventually we're going to be putting up for auction. To sort of fund that endeavor, as well as some Retro Bassin merchandise we have on the horizon, I'm kind of going through and liquidating some things that, well, maybe we're not going to feature, maybe we've already featured, and maybe I just have too many of. So starting off with listing number one is a pretty unique dealer case from Rogers. I'll go ahead and put this one on the table so that you guys can get a look at it. So this is a dealer case of 12 Rogers Big Jim crankbaits. This is obviously a spinoff on the Cotton Cordell Big O from Rogers Company. And this is a neat little 3/8 ounce crankbait. I actually imagine this is probably a really good fisher. However, if you do pick this up, it's going to be a little bit of a internal debate whether or not you rip this thing open. Again, this is a really nice dealer case. First off, the individual packages for these are actually really nice. It's a nice hard plastic, sort of like an old school rattle trap. Each one says Big Jim, and it is in a, I'm going to say it's sort of a copper color. It's got a black back, a copper side, and a little bit of orange on the belly. So let's see here. I'll put this in focus. So it says Rogers World Champion Lures, and it's number 109032. Super nice, very well sealed Rogers, and that is going to be the Retro Bassin eBay listing number one. All right, so we're moving on. This is another one, I say this a lot, I feel like on these episodes, but this is the one I really didn't want to part with, but I will. It is a pretty glorious dealer display of Pose blurpee baits. Put it on the table so you guys can get a little bit of a closer look. Yakima Bait Company did this. This is kind of interesting, but it is a cardboard back right here. And they display on this one how many different of these baits? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. 11 of these blurpee baits. It is a lesser known topwater from Pose. I do have a few of these in my Pose tackle box, which I think is now maybe this one, which I will be fishing with, but I figured I would sort of gauge interest for that video by putting this thing up for auction. Looks like the vast majority of these do not come with hooks, but they certainly would be fishable if you rip this thing open. It looks like it's just sort of vacuum sealed, but you do have one with the hook. I imagine, having never really thrown a blurpee too much, this thing probably fishes a little bit like a hula popper. It's going to have more of a blurping sound, i.e. the name, than something like a pop bar. It comes in some really classic pose colors that you're probably familiar with if you know any of the old RC1 and RC3 baits, like the silver foil, the spook, silver foil, the blackback, the gold foil, Tennessee shad, man, the old black with a hot belly, and of course the brown, yellow, black crawdad. So a great looking display. Yeah, I mean, honestly, I probably wouldn't rip this thing open. There's probably cheaper ways to get some blurpees if you want to fish them. But this would look pretty glorious up in your own little retro BASSIN studio. All right, we're sticking with the dealer carded theme for auction number 3. Check out this thing. This is pretty wild, and I can't believe this thing came intact. I'm also a little surprised I'm selling it, but again, I've only got so much room in this place. So what this is a company called Glen L. Evans. I've actually got a Glen L. Evans worm tied on to a rod that I'm going to be fishing with, but here you go. So what this is a dealer card. You could certainly display this. You could rip one of these off as well, probably with not too much harm to the aesthetic of it. And it looks like it comes with 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 12 different of this lure, and this lure is called the Cyclops. Looks like the number is B7004- something or other, maybe a D, and it's a 1/4 ounce. Having never fished with a Cyclops before and having none out of the package, I can't really speak to this, but my guess is this thing is a wobbling sort of spoon that is certainly a castable creation. Great looking display though from Glen L. Evans Fishing Tackle. And let's see where old Glen L. Evans is based. Looks like it is Caldwell, Idaho, a division of the Gladding Corporation. So that is Retro BASSIN listing number 3. All right, so I've been working on the little mini corner of the Retro BASSIN studio opposite the tackle wall for a little bit now. And you might have noticed I've got a nice display of some OG tackle boxes. A lot of planos here and sort of an homage to my buddy Perrin. I've got some Rebels here. Well, I do have a Rebel like this one, which I do like, and I forget what number this is, but I happen to realize I have, well, 2 of them. So I'm going to be putting this one up for auction. This is a Rebel tackle box. It is the Futura LX, and I'll put this on the table and give you a look at it, but it is a pretty glorious looking Rebel tackle box, and of course it comes equipped with a Retro BASSIN decal as well. So there is the Rebel tackle box. It's a flat-sided box, you can see it here. It's a little bit of a thinner box, and it's kind of got a unique makeup. It's got a nice handle on it, which is good, and let's open this sucker up and show you what is inside. So as we lift this thing open, trying to get it all in frame here. It's a pretty big. It's got 2 displays that you can remove, 2 trays, and then it's got room for a bunch of stuff down below. As far as OG tackle boxes, boy, this is probably about as clean as you get. I'm sure that there's some Rebel folks out there that probably do not have this particular model, would like to add it to their collection, and probably some folks who want to just maybe make this their old school Retro BASSIN tackle box. But everything is in great shape on this guy. It's got the handle and it is ready to hit the lake. And again, we're going to start the listing off on this guy at just 99 cents, which I probably don't think it'll stay there. All right, let's keep on scrolling to see what else we have up for auction. Ooh, okay. So this was an interesting one that I picked up, I think it was late last year. So it was the Bass Fishing Hall of Fame induction of Fred Arbogast, of course, the inventor of the jitterbug. Well, Lurenet came out with a pretty wild 4-pack. Actually, no, I'm sorry. They came out with 4 different lures, but not in a 4-pack dedicated to that event. And here they are. I'm going to get them on the table so you can get a good look at them. But this is the classic jitterbug size in the 4 different Hall of Fame limited run baits. These are available on the Lurenet website for, I'm pretty sure it was like $14.99 each. I picked up a few of them. I figure I'm going to put a complete set online to share this because I think this thing sold out really, really quickly. So the 4 different ones are pretty interesting. So the one I'll start out with is this one. So this is the Fred Arbogast one. It's got a signature from Fred Arbogast. It's got a really nice golden lip on it, which is super unique as far as jitterbugs go. Classic black pattern, and it's got the Bass Fishing Hall of Fame logo on the back. So that is number 1 you're gonna get. I'm gonna get all 4 of these, by the way. Number 2, I think this one is, let me look here. Yes, this is the John Christie, I believe, jitterbug. It is a pretty cool camo pattern. It's actually one of the best looking ones that there is. Really neat camo pattern with some nice orange eyes and a little orange on the chin. These 2 are pretty special. So this one, signed KVD, and this is not a real signature. I think it's just one of those, you know, fake signatures. But either way, it's KVD signature bait, which you don't see too many of, to be honest with you. And a pretty cool pattern, almost looks sort of like a Japanese lure, if you will. It's got a black overall hue and just some red spots with some outline and some white on the belly. So that's the KVD jitterbug. Truth be told, I've never actually seen KVD throw a jitterbug, but if he did, he probably would throw that one. And then there's this one. Boy, this is the one, if I was not going to part with one, this would be it. This is a Bill Dance signature jitterbug. Anybody who follows Bill Dance knows that the first bass he ever caught was on a jitterbug just like this, actually in a frog pattern that I think he spent $5 on. Well, that fateful cast and that fateful catch obviously set Bill Dance on a life journey that we all get to appreciate. So it's pretty cool that they included him in this one. So this is the Bill Dance signature jitterbug. But what's so cool about it is, and it might be a little bit hard to tell at this angle, but it's definitely got some Bill Dance hues. It's got a nice orange stripe on the side, orange signature on the top, and some, Tennessee Vols orange eyes. So that is it for that lot. That is 4 jitterbugs, starting at 99 cents. But again, if you were to pick this one up on the lurenet website, if they were even available, it'd be about $60 of jitterbugs. All right, well, we are moving on to another one. The Okie bug lot did pretty well last time, and I found something that I thought would be interesting, and that is this, an Okie bug hat. I actually have a couple of Okie bug hats, believe it or not, and this is the one that I'm gonna part with today. So this is an OG Okie bug hat for sure. It's got a classic, I don't say it's an ironed-on, but it's some sort of transfer. It's never coming off. A logo on it. It says Okie bug. It's an old school hat. This is not new. In fact, I would say this material probably is sometime in the late 1970s. And to make this official, we're going to include an Okie bug spinnerbait. Of course, the Okie bug was a tackle shop in Tulsa, Oklahoma, founded by Don Butler, who won a Bassmaster Classic, in fact, the second, with his own creation, the Okie bug spinnerbait. All right, well, this is lot number 6 over at the eBay. Okie bug hat, OG, and an Okie bug spinnerbait. All right, so we're moving on to Retro Bassin lot number 7. For a little while, I was on a little bit of a tear at the lurenet website. They have a really cool page over there that is somewhat active, somewhat not, kind of depends on what they've got cooking, called the lurenet Paint Shop. That is where they do super limited runs of some classic designs in some colors that you do not see. Generally speaking, I think it's, unless it's like a Frank Scalish version, which is like 600 units per, the traditional lurenet Paint Shop, it comes in 300 per lure. So the first lot is going to be 4 different Bill Norman crankbaits. This is the little N, nice, glorious deep diver in 4 different colors. We'll talk about these, but this is a super cool thing that the lurenet website does. I kind of love that they do this because I've gotten some really interesting pop-Rs, some devil horses, and some of those I'll be sharing in some future auctions. So this is the little N in some 4 different colors. The first color here, let's see what this one says. Looks like this is Diamond Craw, right there. Harvest Moon, great names. Rainbow shad. Good looking bait. And Bama shad. So 3 really nice shad patterns, 1 awesome crawfish pattern, just in time for a little spring cranking. Moving on down the list. All right, so number 8. We're gonna stick with the lurenet website for the next like 3 auctions after this. But this one is a lot of 4 different Bandit crankbaits from the lurenet paint shop that are, well, of course, sold out, probably by a year or 2. So here are 4 pretty sweet looking Bandit crankbaits. We've got 4 of them in the shallow version, 1 in the deeper. And we'll go ahead and look at the sizes and the colors. So the first one, first off, look at that glorious pattern right there. So let's see what name this is. So this is a Bandit 100 in Red Devil. Awesome bait. Second one is another one in the same size profile, another 100. And this is called Baby Shad. All right, another Bandit 100. Third Bandit 100 in the lot. This one is called Orange Belly Craw. But I think that's pretty simplistic. This is a really neat translucent crawfish. Good looking bait for sure. I've actually thrown these a pretty good bit. I love the 100. It's one of my favorite Bandits to throw. But then I figured I'd throw in a deeper one just in case you have some deeper applications as well. And so this is going to be the Bandit 300 in a color called Spicy Craw. So that is the next lurenet. That is the next lurenet lot. 4 Bandits for 99 cents. And counting. So speaking of Rebel lures, I thought I would throw in some pretty cool looking topwaters from lurenet. And I've got 4 of them here in this next auction. Now only 2 of these are Rebel, the other 2 are Heddon. So let's start off with the Heddons. First one, we've got a Heddon topwater. This is the Poppin' Image in a color called Spring Break Shad. You gotta love the names almost as much as you love the colors of these baits. So that's a good one. Next one, ooh, this is one I think I featured in my History of the Zara Spook episode. But this is a 1-knocker spook. Got the old number 7 on it. I think the name might be, yep, number 7. So I think this might be a Frank Scalish original. Try to get it so you can see the color of it a little bit better here. Shake it. Come on, buddy. Okay, so there we go. Hopefully you can see that. But it's a really nice, it's got a sort of a purple back and an orange herringbone on the side. Now moving on to the Rebels. Oh, there's the big boy. Yep, that is the P70, the Rebel Pop R. That's actually the Kingpin color. Look at that guy. And then going the other direction, it is a teeny Pop R in Bluegill. So that one is that one. So that one's the Pop R. I think that is the, yeah, that's the, I think that's the P70 there. And then there is the teeny Pop R. And this one is a nice color. Bluegill could also be a perch as well. All right, well that is it for that auction. 4 from lurenet, 2 from Heddon, and 2 from Rebel. All right, final lot from lurenet. All right, next and final lot of lurenet paint shop. We've got 4 of the teeny wee craw. So not only did they come out with 1 color of the wee craw, but they actually had 4 different ones, which we'll talk about. And for this lot, you're gonna get 1 of each. No surprise, these guys sold out pretty quickly from the website. And we'll go through them right now. The first looks like a bone color. Let's see what the official name of it is though. It is bone with orange belly. And not a surprise there. Next one is interesting. Sort of a blue, a little bit of orange. What's the name of this one? This is Fatal Crawl. This is my favorite of them all. It's got a green back, a little orange or brown on the side, and chartreuse at the claws. And this one's called Radiation. And the last one A little green and red. And what's the name of this one? This is called mossback craw. So that is it. This is the 1/8 ounce ultralight version, one of my favorite versions of the Rebel craw, the wee craw. And we're gonna put all 4 of these up so you'll get each of the 4 colors that lurenet offered before they rather quickly sold out. And last but not least, we have got a little dealer card, and just something kind of fun that I thought I'd throw in there. Probably more of a display piece, to be honest with you. Just because I don't do a ton of fishing with nylon jigs, but maybe you're a crappie fisherman and you do. So this is from Romar Quality Fishing Tackle. The big ones don't get away, and it is, aside from the guaranteed results, it's a nylon jig. Comes with 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, so 12 little nylon jigs. I don't know the weight. It looks like that's probably an 1/8 or a 1/16 ounce. And sort of a saltwater grade hook. Nothing on the back, but this thing is definitely ready to be displayed or fished with. I just love overall like the color pattern of this, and I like the sort of icon they've got of the dude riding a bass, probably with a jig in its mouth. So that is listing number 11. And again, I will drop links to all these down below in the video description. I'm gonna set the bidding for all these at 99 cents and also the auction to run 7 days. Any questions about the listings, definitely hit me up on the eBay. I'm pretty good at answering any questions about whether it's shipping or product conditions or stuff like that. In the meantime, if you're looking for some more old school content, you can click right here. Otherwise, I will see you right back here. And until then, keep that carpet side up and definitely fish it old school.
Fishing it old school, this old stuff rules. Welcome to Retro Bassin.